This is your PreBuild or Ohio Method door shore, okay? Now when you look at this shore, you can see that everything we have done here was pre-built in a safe area. It was brought into the affected area, placed in the opening, and then pressurized with our wedge packs. All right, you guys will come to find that this is much quicker, especially when you start to get used to building these shores. You can whip these out pretty quickly. All right, now dissecting this shore, you can see we have our header and our sole just like we did on our building place, and we have our uprights or our legs. The math is going to be very, very similar, okay? Now, same thing, we come to our opening. The first thing we want to do is we want to establish the width of our opening. We're going to measure it once again in 3 places, top, middle, and bottom. We're going to take the shortest of those measurements, and that's what we are going to call the width of our headers and soles, okay? So when we pull this measurement, we're going to pull it in 3 areas. We're going to take it basically from the doorstop here to here. We're going to pull that measurement. We're going to call it 43 inches, 43 at the top, 43 at the bottom. We're going to take off 1.5 inches for our wedge packs. All right, take 1.5 inches for your wedge packs off. Same thing with our height. We're going to pull it in 3 different areas. We're going to pull it in left side, middle, right side. All right, pull the middle from the floor to the doorstop. You're looking at 83.5 inches. Once again, we're going to take off 3.5 inches for our header, 3.5 inches for our sole, 1.5 inches for our wedge packs. All right, that's what we're going to write on our cut list. That's how big we need this shore. This is now going to be sent out to the cut team and the assembly team, okay? They're going to take this shore, and when you get it back, this is exactly what it's going to look like. It is going to be pre-built. It's going to have triangle gussets, all 4 corners, both sides, 8 penny nails, 8 and 5 nail patterns, okay? When we go to install this shore, the first thing we want to do is get our level and establish the most plumb side, all right? So we're going to say this was our most plumb side. We're going to take our shore, put it in our opening. We're going to center it in our opening. Make sure it's in the center of that door opening, okay? We're going to center it in this opening. We're going to plumb it both ways, make sure it's square in our opening, and then we're going to start to pressurize this shore at the top, all right? Now when we put these wedge packs in, we want them lined up right over our 4x4s. Remember that double funnel theory. We want to take that load path and transfer it straight down to the ground, okay? So it's very important that these wedge packs be put right over our 4x4 legs. All right, we get those pressurized. We're now going to start pressurizing our the side of our shore. These wedge packs need to be right over these shores. This one actually needs to be right up here in the corner, okay? So we want to take these, we want to bump those out, move them up to where it's going to transfer that load path laterally across this 4x4 and across this 4x4. That's going to give us our lateral strength or our lateral pressurization. Once we get those in, we can now fill in with auxiliary wedge packs about every 24 inches. We're going to pressurize these, okay? Now, in the center of this header, we can put a wedge pack in here, okay? Now, if for some reason the header of this door was compromised, if it was sagging in the middle, whatnot, we want to make sure we capture that load path here down our legs, and then we are going to wedge every place we can get wedges in to try to get full contact of that compromised area. Follow me? Okay, this is your pre-built Ohio Method door and window shore. And when I say door and window, remember, it can be used in a window just as well as it can be used in a door, okay? Any questions on the pre-build method? Any questions on the math while we're taking measurements off? It is very, very important when you do these door and window shores that these legs or these uprights go in between your header and sole. If for some reason you put them to the outside, you are not going to capture the load path properly. Follow me? Because what it's going to do, you're now going to start catching the load just with your header and soles, and the only thing that's going to be holding that in is going to be your gusset plates. And then you're going to put shear forces on those nails, and that's not what we want to do. We want to take that load path, follow it straight down to the ground. All right?